How's it going, YouTube? I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this quick animation here today. I'm making this for my video game Zombie. I'm going to be making it in Blender. Previously you needed really fancy software to do this, so this is going to be a two-part tutorial. First part's going to be making it in Blender, second part is going to be rendering it in After Effects. So to get started, if you're going to be skipping part 2 and rendering in Blender, just go ahead and delete the cube. If you're going to be rendering in After Effects and Element 3D with me or some other 3D rendering engine, just go ahead and delete the collection, camera, and light too. We're going to go ahead and make a UV sphere by going to Add Mesh UV Sphere, and then we're going to go to Object and type Shade Smooth, or press Shade Smooth rather. Then we're going to click on the sphere, press F3, type Quick, and bring up Quick Liquid. That's going to create this quick liquid simulation. Let's scale up the box parameters of the liquid simulation to something of our likings. That looks pretty good. Now let's go to this physics tab and we're going to scroll down. Let's go down to where it says cache and we're going to select where we want to export it. And on my desktop I have a folder here called Water Sim Tutorial. I'm going to put it there and we're going to select the duration we want. So I'm going to put my end to 300 and I'm also going to set the end to 300 over here in the animation. Let's go ahead and set it to is resumable and set modular. Let's go ahead and enable mesh. Now we're going to select the sphere, change the geometry to inflow, and we're also going to toggle initial velocity and change the source to 0.8. Now we're going to render our simulation. I'm actually going to decrease the box size because I'm just going to decrease the size of the scale. Let's go ahead and click Bake Data, and now we see the simulation worked pretty well. So we can check this by going to our desktop, and in our folder we'll have these new folders, and if we wanted to we could go ahead and click mesh and bake our mesh, and now you'll have a mesh, and you can see this represented by the mesh folder. So these two folders are the particles and then this is the mesh folder, and if we want to change anything all we need to do is free the mesh and then free the data. Now we're going to add the text, so let's go to add and go to text, and since I haven't saved this I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to press tab on the text and change it to Zombie for the game I'm making, and then I'm going to press tab when I'm finished, and then we're going to go down to the data, the text data, and we're going to go to geometry and we're going to extrude it by 0.2, and then I'm going to rotate it by clicking R and X and then typing in 90, and then I'm going to press G and press Z and press X to move it to the middle, and then I want it near the bottom so it gets flooded, so I'm going to move it down, but maybe a little bit higher than last time. Let's see. No, that actually worked out pretty well. And now because we can't add a physics fluid tag to text in Blender, we have to go ahead and export this as an FBX. So we're going to export it to the desktop, and now it's on our desktop. I'm just deleting some old ones there. And now we're going to file import FBX, go to our desktop, import that file, and I'm just going to delete the duplications except for the new object, text object. I'm going to delete our old text that we made, and now I can put a fluid tag on it. I'm going to change it to effector actually, and set the effective thickness 2.5, or the surface thickness. Now if we bake the data, we should notice that some of the particles are bouncing off the text, but it's not very noticeable because the water isn't moving. So let's animate that part. So let's go ahead and free the data. We're going to move the sphere towards the, actually since I want it to fill up quickly, I'm just going to move it up a little, but you could move it to the top if you wanted. And I'm going to press G and press X and move it to the right, and then on our animation here you can go ahead and press or move it back to 0 and press auto keying, and what that's going to do is start keying everything we do until we turn it off. So actually let's turn auto keying off first because I don't want to key this part. Let's go to the animation, make sure it didn't do anything. I'm going to scale it down to 0.3 first, and then I'm going to start auto keying, and then I am going to press scale and press it to like 0.29, or not 0.29, like 0.99, and that's just going to give it an auto key of the scale. And then I am going to press G and X and move it to the other side of our simulation. Well, actually I want to make sure before I do that, move our dope sheet all the way to the 300th frame so it's at the end of our animation, and then press G and X and move it across, but not too far because I'm going to scale it up by 3. Make sure it doesn't go outside the bounds of the water simulation. And now when we check the animation we can see that it moves and it gets bigger. Let's go ahead and turn off auto keying, and now you can see we have this nice fluid simulation. And since I actually want the whole thing to fill up, I'm going to increase the end frame to 600 and increase my end frame on the cache to 600. And then I'm going to go and just modify the animation. Click on our sphere, and that will bring up our animation. And now we'll just move that to the 600. Not both of them, just this keyframe to 600. And then remember, whenever you want to bake your fluid animation again, go back to clicking on your fluid bounds, and again you have these two different baking methods, and we'll go ahead and bake the first method. And beautiful, that gives me just what I wanted. So now I'm going to bake the mesh. Okay, and that's it for this tutorial, guys. Next tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to export this as a sequence so we can import it into After Effects. See you guys next time.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any more future videos.